some theology. I don't really like to talk about theology in meetings like this, but as somebody once said, theology is talking about God when He's not in the room. Spirituality or preaching is talking about God when He's in the room. And I would like to think that God is in the room today. He loves us. We gather together. He wants us to sit down and have a shoulder-to-shoulder, heart-to-heart talk about who we are, where we are, what this is about. Talking about God when He's in the room. It's like when we're praying. You're staring back at us when we're praying. And what does that God look like for us? Holiness is in the everyday. How do you make the everyday alive with God's love? It's I think we need to put it into. That's what He's saying to us. He's saying, at times we lose people because they don't understand what we are saying, because we have forgotten the language of simplicity and import and intellectualism foreign to our people. He said, without the grammar of simplicity, the church loses the very conditions which make it possible to fish for God in deep waters. So they lecture to them, or they say too much. A single thought developed well is all we need to do. It's not 4,000 facts. And then, or I said at the very end, give them all kinds of things they need to do. We've got to get back to inspiring people, lifting them up, giving them hope, giving them a reason to come back the next week. And again, our Holy Father said to the bishops in Brazil, he said, ordinary Catholics simply don't understand such faulty ideas and need to hear the simpler message of love, forgiveness, and mercy that is at the core of the Catholic faith. And that doesn't mean that we can't that doesn't mean that we can't talk about sin. It just means how we do this, I think is what He's asking us. And so every once in a while, tell them that they matter and that they care and that you love them. That's basically, I know all of you do that. But sometimes in our tone, we don't, and it turns them off and they walk away. And there's that's that. You got to believe as a minister that when you got ordained, you were given grace and you were given the openness to the Spirit. That's a Spirit work. Let the Spirit tell you how to be creative in this. You can't keep bugging the chancellor for all kinds of things. Of course, I've done it when we were talking with the doors, but you tell me lots of things that you do that you don't ask the chancellor about. And I think that's what we're asking you to think about even more. Are there more things that we can do to be creative to kind of bring people back? Not you have to throw the wall out the window, but you know what I mean. It's just to get there, we've got to write the chapter we're in right now the best way we can. So how are we writing this chapter of our life right now? I think that's what He's asking. That's why you're brought here. This is 2013. This is our ministry here. This is not the ministry of 10 years ago. It's not the ministry of 10 years ago. This ministry, right now, 2013. So how are we going to, and if we're doing it successful, thank you. Thank you, Lord. If I need help, how do I get it? What do I change? What do I need to adjust? I think that's what we're asking. Hear what they're saying, so you could sort of lead them in that direction. I think sometimes we've got to do it all. You smell the sheep, but get into the flock. You get behind them, He said, not just in front of them, just so that you can lead them in a certain direction.
some of the things that we talked about, the way we extend a greeting to people and explaining our services during the rites of baptism, during the liturgy, explaining each part of the liturgy, even though some said, well, if they're coming beforehand, they should know what's happening, but that doesn't mean the people who are coming to the baptism know what's going on. And explaining what the oils are, why you're being anointed, as it's going on in the service. So that way we're explaining and being very pastoral to those who do not understand why we're doing what we're doing. The same with weddings. The symbolism as we're going through the wedding ceremony, to stop and just mention what's going on now, why we do what we do. A lot of people, as we talked about, got married, wore the crowns and had no idea what the crown is and symbolism of. And it's a sad thing, so that's some of the things that we do in our parishes that we feel that is pastoral.